Hi. So I was just wondering, in your opinion, like, what could we as college students here in the United States do to help further this, like, democracy movement in China?
Very good. Very good question. First of all, I think you have to understand China right. Because a lot of the reports from this country, even from professors, the so-called sinologists, will report the China, which I said is not the whole China. You know, oftentimes you go to Harvard, to the lectures, to a conference, you will run into a professor talking about how we deal with the rising China. The China is rising, also some kind of thing, which is true. It's a possibility. You have to have understand the reality of China, so we cannot overlook the China which is hidden behind so-called 21st century falling wall. So you have to understand that China is nowhere near a developed democratic country. China cannot provide the world a model that other developing countries will follow. No, that's the wrong direction for China, for this country, and for the whole world. Okay. Number two, this is democracy. You can work with your representative on the issues of foreign policy toward China. Now, human rights has taken a back seat in recent years in the foreign policy towards China, which I don't think is right. So you have to work with your representative, giving him education about what true China is. Then we can come up with the right foreign policy toward China. Number three, we have a specific programs you can help. I think the group of citizen advocates, as I talk about citizen advocates, I don't know what is the right word for them, term for citizen leaders or dissident leaders or anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The political activists, the opposition leaders, is the most important group of the people in China because these are the people who will transform the sporadic protest into sustainable democracy that will demand for systemic change in China. So that's why the Chinese government put them in prison or forced them into exile. And I always talk to people who are concerned about it, who want to help us, to urge them to adopt the prisoners in China, prisoners of conscience. If you are interested, I can provide a list of prisoners. You can adopt one or two. Once you adopt a prisoner, you help take care of his or her special needs. For example, he may embed a health condition. You work with the right groups, make his or her story known to the international community and to the international media, apply pressure on the Chinese government so that you can get this prisoner out of prison as soon as possible to receive a proper medical treatment. And most prisoners have financial difficulty. Their family are suffering as well in many ways. So usually that involves collecting some money to help their family with their basic life. So that all this will help minimize the cost, the price the citizen activists have to pay when the cost diminishes to a certain degree to the point that the ordinary people can stand to it, then the movement will be very successful. We want people to join the movement, but when the costs are too high, they won't join. So I always say democracy movement is not a movement of a hero. It should be a movement of ordinary people. But ordinary people always consider cost. So when we help those political prisoners, we minimize the cost, minimize the price they have to pay. So more people will join. Then we have a future. So you can help with that. Thank you.